Hi, and welcome back to Terry Bernie's Garage. Today we're going to be playing around with this. This is 2020 Craftsman M215. This mower's got some type of off-brand engine, kind of almost looks a little bit like a power mower. We'll get into that later. I got to order parts anyway. But anyway, this machine's here for a couple reasons. We have definitely a dirty carb, a loose blade, and we got to give it a good cleaning anyway. But the problem here is the customer started taking the mower apart. They realized they were over their head, so they put it back together. I guess he said there's a spring missing or not hooked up or something, so we're gonna have to tear into that. Anyway, let me see if this thing will actually run for you. He did get it running the other day, but it sounds terrible. You can hear the bleed. Not even going to kick over this time. That's alright. I guarantee you it's a plugged up jet. But give me a couple minutes here. We're going to go ahead and get this thing up on the stand. We got to take this thing apart and check this carburetor out, and we'll go from there with it. Alright, so we're up on a stand with this thing. Go ahead and start taking it apart. I forgot about that. The guy said that when I think they dropped the float bowl or something, and now it's leaking gas. So hopefully we don't need parts, because I don't think I have anything here that'll fit this. He said he may have just not tightened it enough or something. We're going to have to get into that when the carb's off, but I wanted to go ahead and pop this, get this whole shroud out of the way. That way we can look at things better and see what's up. I think this is one of the deals where this whole thing's going to pop off. Yep. Excellent. Alright, I guess we'll do that for right now. Where's that gas line right there? Alright. We can't get to that really good just yet. Once this cover's off, we'll be able to see that better, I'm sure. But at least we know that that will come apart like so. Go ahead and put them in there. Now we're going to have, these are all 10 millimeter. Yeah, they lost the air filter and the filter cover, so the gentleman asked me to figure out the numbers and everything, send him the link, and he'd go ahead and order it. Said he won't run the mower until it's all back together right, but you know, if I can get this carb issue straightened out, by the time this is done, he can have his parts and mow his lawn with it. Breather. Way. Alright, so this is an automatic choke engine. So put that. Alright, we're gonna have to look into that after. Yeah, definitely. See if we can't get this fuel line off of here, that way we can get the tank right out of it. Ridiculous. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna set this outside for a minute. So, okay, I see what he's saying. It's got the little anti-surge spring on the linkage here, and it's supposed to go over to your governor arm, and it is disconnected over on that end. So we'll get to that after. All right, so this has got the little the flapper there that's going to keep the choke open and help it stay open until the thermostat hits it and everything. So, all right, that's not bad. All right, so give me a second. We're going to go ahead and pull this carburetor off of here, and we'll get it on a bench and tear it. Let's go ahead and tear into this carburetor. I took it outside real quick, gave it a shot of awesome, just so it's not filthy to work on. But let us see what's up with it. It looks, when I tipped it up, it looked like the actual, the upper gasket may be what's leaking. So we might even have a float issue or something like that. But yeah, he was worried he didn't tighten it enough. That wasn't the case. Jeez. That gasket's there. That's always a good thing. Alright. I'm not sure. But yeah, you can see all the grime in there. So yeah, this looks a lot like one of the other ones off the Mower engine. So I'm hoping that we can actually pop the jet, and hopefully the emulsion tube will come out of here. Now, this is actually something I've been waiting for. As mentioned, I bought some new screwdrivers a couple weeks ago, and I think that this is just the right size for this jet. Yep, bingo. All right. This is actually, of course I needed all new screwdrivers anyway, but that's the one I was actually looking for, just to make it a lot easier to get these jets out of here. Alright. Yes, alright. So we have a jet and an emulsion tube out. And yes, this jet is plugged, I believe. Of course, let me see, it's a little piece of wire anyway we can use just for now until I'll get my paper clip out after. But, yeah, even this little piece of wire is barely fitting through there. So that's what we got going on here. Do that. And it's noticed that thing's all rusted up and everything. We're gonna definitely be cleaning the tank out of that. All right, so give me 1 minute here. We're gonna clean that jet up and the emulsion tube and go from there. Hey guys, quick break in this video. I just wanted to share something with you real quick, a little quick story. This belongs to my neighbor. We got a 2017 Cub Cadet Ultima ZT1 with a 42-inch deck. This belongs to my neighbor across the street. She had just, she broke a belt, snapped a tensioner spring, so she's off to get parts for this thing. And we're gonna be putting it back together. But I just wanted to share this with you. This woman is 71 years old, okay? She runs this thing. She does about 25 yards a week with this mower. She does, she has a property over at, where she lives. She tends to her animals. She's got dogs, cats, goats, and all that. She works part-time at a farm and everything. She could take a truck and a trailer and back it up straighter than any man I've ever known. One morning I'm sitting out there on a porch and I see her up there on the roof of her house. I'm like, Martha, what the hell are you doing? Oh, I got to adjust the satellite or clean it or something. I'm like, God. So, for that age, I'll tell you that this woman's been blessed. It's incredible watching her go. But anyway, we'll get back to this mower in 1 minute here. All right, guys. So what we got going on here? I went ahead and cleaned up the underside of this mower. I did have this guide off of the thing, cleaned up all the grass and everything. Like I'd mentioned on the earlier video, when you go to put this thing back on, you went ahead and crank your self-propel lever up. Just clamp it down with something. That way your belt's going to go in the guides and everything, and it'll be fine. Otherwise, it gets disastrous. But this belt on this, this blade on this mower was loose. All right, it was down to the bolt was actually bottomed down on a crankshaft. It's hard as you can get. So I'm not sure what's up with that. So we're gonna do a little fix for that. Now, technically, I could have went down to Tractor Supply and bought a shorter bolt, but I didn't do that. I think what's going on, I got a little slop in this thing. I think over the years it actually shaved itself down, and it's down just a little bit, so the bolt isn't catching anymore. So let's go ahead. There we go. So here's your bolt. It's got the lock washer and all that. Nothing wrong whatsoever with that. Here's the washer that would actually go on top of that lock washer and everything. So we're gonna go ahead and put a thicker washer on there. Now, this is just specialty parts that a lawnmower hoarder would have. So again, put that on there. And then we're gonna crank it down. This blade, by the way, it's a brand new blade. I couldn't get this thing any more sharper if I wanted to, so I'm gonna leave it as such. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I think it's safe to say that this one's good to go. And if not, I'll be the first to know about it. So, other than that, the upper end of this mower is all cleaned up and everything. We're gonna get back at the stand, start putting this carburetor and whatnot back together, and we'll be back soon. All right, guys. So I did slide the carburetor back on. I got the gas tank just sitting up there with a little bit of gas in it. I gotta wait around here a few minutes, and we're gonna make sure we got no fuel leaks. There's no point in bolting this thing back together if we do, so. But I'll be back shortly, and fingers crossed that all works out good. And then we're gonna button the rest of this thing back up and get this thing out of here, because I'm really tired of looking at it. But we'll be back. All right, guys, so we have our finished product, well, kind of, a 2020 Craftsman M215. I went ahead and, like I said, I got no gas leaks or nothing. Anthony's bragging about how I clean mowers up, so I had to give this thing a little bit of a show. I didn't actually have to go crazy on this one, because the paint wasn't all faded and everything. But one thing I want to point out, as of right now, I think I'd mentioned this at the beginning of the video, this mower is missing the filter and cover. The customer lost it. Nobody knows what happened to it. So I just wanted to show you real quick. If you have one of these mowers, it's a 159cc power mower. All right, your cover itself, these are MTD part numbers. You have a 931 12768. That's going to be your cover. The air filter itself is a 951 15245. So those two part numbers will cover both those items, and you can go right on Amazon with that, with just these numbers, and get what you need. So we'll go ahead and That's he's the gentleman's gonna actually order up the parts for it, but here we go. Let's go ahead and fire this thing. I'm hoping it runs good because it'd be nice. That works for me. I'm happy with it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and like I said, I'm hoping now I got to get back into an antique rig and straighten this up, because this is a little different for me. But anyway, either way, I got plenty more coming, and we'll be back with more. So like, comment, subscribe, and all that other good stuff, and we'll catch you on the next one. Oh. Hey guys, so I got some good news for you. I think we got this carburetor issue under control. I ended up I hooked the gas to it in the last clip and everything. It wasn't leaking, but I went ahead and shook it around a little bit like so, and sure enough, the float bowl gasket was leaking. Finding parts for one of these things is just out of control, so that didn't happen. I ended up finding I had an old Honda GVC 160 Carb sitting here. It had a good gasket. Put that on here. Did the shake test again. I got no leaks and everything. I think we're good to go. And we're going to find that out shortly. But one of the things, I went ahead and got my linkage hooked up. Got your the anti-surge spring. It was disconnected over here. I went ahead and got it connected up. Tweaked it back as best as I could. The customer kind of bent it up pretty good. But I think we're ready to go back together here. So, as I said, the throttle and everything's all set. So you get your carburetor, you get your little heat shield here. There's a gasket there. The carburetor, there's another gasket right here. And now we got to hook this little flapper piece up, which should be fairly easy, but as you notice, I got this mower nice and cleaned up. Anthony was bragging on this guy about, my cleaning job, so I had to, and honestly, I didn't have to do a whole lot to this because it was, the paint's pretty good on it still and everything. So, anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to head and slide your little linkage down here into the carburetor, like so. And then we got this little bracket, which is going to slide into this. And it's going to go just like that. That way, basically what's going to happen, your flywheel, the fins on a flywheel are going to actually open this choke as the engine's running. Keep it open a little bit until the actual thermostat kicks in. Which I've been digging through parts and everything on this thing. And I'll tell you right now, this is one of the worst engines to look up parts for that I've ever seen. It's a power mower engine. According to what I'm looking at, it's a power mower engine built for MTD. So they give you a part number on it and everything to look up, but it's not pulling up anything. It's a 159cc engine and built in 2020, and that's what I ended up using. 159cc power mower, 2020, and it pulled up. Sure enough, it pulled it right up. Now, as far as this carburetor, well, that's a different story. I got a part number for the carburetor itself, but I couldn't find anything. I was just gonna buy a new football gasket, but So, I mean, in this case, I'm not going to blame these bigger shops for not wanting to mess with that because it's just stupid. But, so now we got the little, the air vane set up, which is working correctly. You got your gasket on there. I'm going to go ahead and slide this piece on. And this looks to be... There we go. Maybe not. Oh, this may have to... All right, so my apologies. This is all right. So if you notice, once your thermostat opens, I cannot do this with one hand, obviously. Yeah, these mowers get kind of aggravating, but once your thermostat opens, it's going to go ahead and pull your choke open. So hopefully that's going to actually work as such. So we're going to go ahead and do now, before we start putting the cover back on, we're going to go ahead and put the gas tank back on here. Don't mind me, I've been congested. I'm going to be congested all season long because of this pollen and whatever you want to call it in Kentucky. Alright. So, then we're going to go ahead and put it. This thing did not have any clamps on it when it got here. And, I thought maybe somebody had changed the fuel line. I don't think that's the case. So there's no sign of a clamp ever being on there, so I don't know what's up with that. But and that fuel line was stuck on that carburetor. If you watch the beginning clip of this video, that's not gonna work because we have to. Now the clamp is actually hitting the thing. That'll work. So, I think it'd be our best bet to have something on there. And we'll just snug it just a little bit. But I'll go ahead and put that back on there. It's never a dull moment in this place, I'll tell you. So we just sneak through like that. I am not a power mower expert, as you can probably tell. And look at that, it fits right on there now. Alright. So now all we got left, we're going to go ahead and bolt this cover back on there. And the pull star, obviously. But I think that's what it's going to take to make this mower run. So give me a couple minutes. I'm going to finish bolting this stuff up. And we're going to take this thing out in the driveway. And we're hopefully going to hear it run. And if not, well, we'll see a fire. But give me a few minutes here. Alright guys, so here is our 2020 Craftsman M215 all back together. I'm not leaking any gas. Everything's looking kind of good. I cleaned it up a little bit. Like I said, Anthony was bragging on me, so I had to give it a little special touches and everything. But, for the most part, we got a pretty good looking mower. As I'd mentioned I believe in a video, beginning of the video, customer did lose the air filter cover and the air filter. He asked me to look it up, which it took me a little act of Congress to get that, but just in case anybody's got one of these mowers and you need those parts, as I said, what we got here, the cover is a 931 12768, and the filter is a 951 15245. These are MTD part numbers, so this will work on this particular engine. I think 159cc power more. So that's all there is to that. But I guess the most important part is, let's go ahead and hear it run. So that way we can get this thing out of here and get on to the next one. It's hopefully a antique Briggs & Stratton or something cool like that. There we go. That should cut the lawn for him. I got no surgeon, I got no gas leaks, I got no nothing. So, and I really hope this video is going to help somebody, and we'll go from there with it. So, if you end up enjoying this, please like, comment, subscribe, and everything. And we got plenty more coming, so I'll catch you on the next one.